This is Top Shop Podcast.
Shop Podcast.
Top Shop Podcast.
Podcast for automotive service business owners by Paul Donahue.
Hey, Top Shop Podcast listeners. Got a great guest on the board with in WACA, the Northwest Auto Care Alliance. Kevena Zimmerman, her husband, Charlie. They've been in the business a long time. Kevena has been involved 30 plus years in the automotive market. It's a really long time. They're the owners of Bob's Little Car and Little Car in Keslow, Washington. How big is Keslow, Washington?
It's Kelso, and it's
Kelso. What is it?
It's Kelso.
Oh, Kelso.
Kelso.
Thank God for editors. And
Yes.
Bob's Little Car and Keslow.
Bob's Little Car Hospital started in 1968, working
Oh,
on
wow.
Hondas and Volkswagens,
Right.
hence the name Little Car.
Little Car. Okay, I was wondering where that came in at. So the focus was on those smaller models back then. So
Smaller imports.
smaller imports. Okay, yep. Specialization back in 1968. So somebody had a little vision. Yeah.
Yep.
So Keslow, how big is Keslow?
Kelso.
Kelso, how big is Kelso?
It's less than 100,000.
Oh, okay. No, that's a
It's
good
small.
size. Yeah.
Yeah, it's relatively small.
Yeah.
It's right next to Longview, Washington. It's, they're separated by a river, a small river, the Cowlitz River. But it started out as a small logging community.
Well, really, as a logging community, it's grown to what it is. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
So share. Can you share with me how'd you get here? So, you didn't wake up being an auto repair shop owner. So how did you share a little bit about your journey and how you got here?
Well, Charlie started working on cars when he was a kid, even before he was driving. And he's worked other odd jobs, but he really loved working on vehicles. His first vehicle that he really owned was a 1968 Firebird. So
Oh,
as you
wow.
can imagine, lots of rebuilt the engine and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
He later became a CarQuest Technical Institute instructor.
Okay.
So he's held both the diagnostic technician and the instructor positions, working two jobs for many, many years. And I'm just the kind of wife who likes to be with her husband. So when he started a business way back in the day, I would pack up the littles and we would go down and sit in the office, and they would work on their schoolwork and I would work on the bookwork for him.
Mhm.
And then in 94, we moved to Alaska, where he was hired to be a Snap-on tech rep.
Mhm.
And we were up there for 10 years. And, Snap-on didn't work out. He started working as a diagnostic tech again, and teaching with CTI, CarQuest Technical Institute.
Mhm.
And he taught there for like 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's just been one of those things, I've held other jobs, but I always end up getting sucked back into the automotive.
Or another, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like it was a passion for me. It's just something I'm good at.
Right.
Because I'm empathetic, and I talk to my husband and he talks cars and I listen, and
Right.
so I can talk the talk.
Right. Yep. So, in family. So, some owners, especially your husband and wife, owners, can struggle with that work life
Yeah.
balance. Any advice out there for the?
Well, I really don't know what to say about that because, Charlie and I are people of faith. So divorce isn't an option. Murder maybe, but not divorce.
Right. Okay.
So you got to work through whatever problems you have. And I think the biggest thing is having one person be the final say, so like when it comes to our home life, Charlie is the final say. When it
Right.
comes to the business, I'm the final say
Okay.
because I'm the primary owner. And so that having those defined roles, I think really, really helps. He gets to say his piece and he recognizes my strengths, and I recognize his. There's a lot of respect there. But at the end of the day, when it comes to Bob's Little Car Hospital, the buck stops here.
Right. Okay.
And, that's not necessarily an easy load for me to carry, but it works because that way, when we butt heads, I can say, I'm sorry, I disagree, and we're going to try this. The other thing is that at Bob's Little Car Hospital,
Hmm.
we're not afraid to make a mistake.
Okay.
Huge. That's huge. Which is why, with my technicians and my office personnel, they can come to me and say, hey, I want to try this new idea. And
Hmm.
um, if we've never tried it before, I'm open to it. Let's give it a try. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not that big of a deal.
Hmm.
But if it does work, then praise God and life is good.
Right.
But but you can't be afraid to make a mistake, right?
Hmm.
If you're afraid to make a mistake, you're never really gonna progress very quickly. At least
Hmm.
I don't believe so.
Right. And what I'm starting to hear is some culture advice. Now, back in 1968, I think if you went to an auto repair shop owner and said, how's your shop's culture? They'd go, what? So,
Yeah.
no, but we're not mechanics anymore. We're technicians. Computers changed that. But you know, culture is a big topic. It's the way that um, family-owned shops are able to retain their technicians. And most shops, how many employees do you guys have altogether?
Well, I have four techs and three in the office.
Okay,
So
seven, yeah. Most shops are 4 to 7. So in those smaller environments, it's really you can really keep your thumb on it a lot more than a larger, corporation. But
yeah.
any really good solid advice that you could give to other shop owners to help develop a really good, culture in their shop?
Um, maybe it's because I'm a female, I have a little different perspective. I don't
Right.
know. I'm the shop mom, so I am open to talking to my guys about their home life, and everybody's life is difficult. I don't know anybody who just sails through life without any problems, right? So just having that open door policy where I have one guy about every 4 to 6 weeks, he's got to come into my office and he's ticked. He's mad about something, but he always starts up really high, yeah. He's got to express that in a safe place.
Right.
And I give him that opportunity to just dump it out, and he always walks away feeling a lot better. And I hardly say anything.
Yeah, you don't have to, right? Yeah.
I don't, because he's a very reasonable guy, but he's um men don't like to men like to pretend like they don't have a whole lot of emotions, but you really do.
Hmm.
So he comes in all very emotional, and I just let him express it, and he kind of just works out. So works it out himself. So just giving him that freedom, that safe place, because he knows I'm not going to go and tell everybody and their brother about his personal struggles,
Hmm.
right? I think but that's also kind of my mom hat. I put on the mom hat for most everybody in my shop. So, because I genuinely care about them, I care about my employees and I care about my customers. So,
There's the key advice for culture. You just gave it.
yeah, yeah.
That's it. So, and a fact, do you know why women lives on average 7 years longer than men?
Because we're easier. I mean, we don't hold in our emotions as much.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't know that. So if there's any shop owners out there, yeah, men tend to die 7 years earlier because we bottle up stuff, and that, although it looks tough on the great on the outside, doing the damage on the inside. So,
Yeah, it's eating you alive.
so that one guy, he's going to live a long time. Tell him I
Yes.
told him. So, hey, there's been a few changes in the last 5 or 10 years in the auto repair industry.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest ones that you've seen, and how has your shop kept up?
Well, technology has, as you know, technology is incredible. Um, it's like it's doubling every year, it seems like.
Hmm.
So staying on top of the technical training for the guys is huge, absolutely huge. Um, and give fostering an environment where questions are welcome, right? Where
Hmm.
mistakes are accepted, um, because so many people are so afraid to make a mistake because they're afraid they're going to get yelled at, they're going to get fired, all of those kinds of things. But whenever you're learning a new technology, there's going to be mistakes, right?
Hmm.
And broken tools, bless their hearts, broken tools. Just and I try and tell the guys, it's you're working, right? Things are going to happen. Just let me know so I can repair it so that it's ready for the next guy,
Hmm.
right? Don't hide it, because if you hide it, that just makes a mess for everybody. But yeah, just giving people the freedom to fail, maybe,
Hmm.
because there's a lot that you have to learn. And here's the thing, every make and model is just a little bit different.
Different. Yeah.
It's just a little bit different. So they have to have the freedom to make mistakes and grow. I think that's huge.
Right. And there's a lot of them out there, a lot of models out there. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So, as far as like DVIs or any of that, are you guys doing any of that or?
Oh yeah. DVI, digital vehicle inspection. Yes.
Mhm.
We do those. We've been doing that for years and years.
Here, yeah. Been very beneficial financially, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And we do it courtesy. We do a
Sure.
courtesy inspection. The only caveat there is you have to make sure that you present to the customer not only all your findings with hopefully pictures and a description of why that system is important, but also you give them the estimate and let them make the decision as to whether they want to deal with it. All right. Um, because some things are just cosmetic, kind of, comfort. I always tell my technicians and my service advisors, treat every customer as if that's your mom, your
Hmm.
sister, your grandma, somebody that you love dearly and you don't want to be out on the road in an unsafe car. And when it comes to quote unquote selling, you I don't care if the customer's uncomfortable. I don't care if they're hot or cold.
Hmm.
Their
Okay.
breaks are bad. So it's
Right.
always we present, and we encourage and advise. We are service advisors, right? We advise based on first safety, you know,
Okay.
second, what's going to save the customer more money in the long run, i.e., transmission services, things of that nature.
Hmm.
And lastly, is their personal comfort. And people can get a little nervous about that. But if it's presented in a loving and caring manner,
Hmm.
the customer gets it, because I will say straight to their face, I don't care if you're hot or cold. If your car is going to break down and leave you stranded, I'd rather you fix that than take care of your air conditioning. I'd make a lot more money on the air conditioning, but
Right.
because air conditioning really is gravy, but it's more important to me that you are safe and I save your pocketbook. And if you genuinely, and that's the term right there, genuinely care about that customer, and you share it in that manner, they'll buy every time. So I always say, take care of the customer first, and the money will follow.
Yeah, that's how it usually works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
a
so
lot of
many.
who
That's
said it? Common sense isn't common.
yes, yeah. But that's also why I don't do flat rate. I don't pay my advisors commissions
Okay.
because I don't. I know people well enough, and I don't care who you are. I don't care how devout you are in your faith. If your paycheck depends on that person buying what you're trying to sell them,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to want to push it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
You're going to be disappointed and frustrated if they don't buy all those things. And I want to take that off the table completely. Now, if their sales numbers are bad, then that's a different conversation. But
Right.
right now, our average repair order is 850 to 950, which is great. And I honestly believe that that's because we come at it with that hard attitude of we're here in your best interest, not in my own personal interest. And it's genuine.
Yep. And that's what let me guess, you have a very high customer retention.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you get a few, you cannot please everybody all the time.
Oh yeah, no, that's impossible. It's like reviews.
Yeah.
The shops are always, well, I got these one or two one-star reviews. I'm like, you need them.
Yeah.
If you're five star, the people are like, so, so it's actually good. It's actually good uh,
Yeah.
to get one of those. Speaking of that, that's a good topic. How do you handle that? You know, customer that walked into your shop that wish you hadn't. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. There are some people that as soon as they walk in the door, you would be better off to give them $100 and say, go away.
Mhm. Yeah, would have saved yourself a lot of time, right? Yeah.
And headache and heartache.
Yeah.
Yeah. So bad reviews, we try and reach out to that person individually, but we obviously have to write a rebuttal.
Hmm.
And usually, it's not, you don't attack the person, you attack the
Right.
problem, right?
Right.
Um,
That's good advice.
yeah. And most often it's either they want something for nothing, right? Or their expectations were just too high. They expect that they do a timing belt on an engine and now the car is going to be brand new. It's an unrealistic expectation, and just bringing them back to earth, I think, is really important. But yeah, just recognizing there are some people that are just angry at the world for they have their own personal struggles, right?
Right.
um,
Sure.
and there's nothing we can do to make them happy. So, it's just educating the public that's reading the negative review, because I don't know about you. If I'm looking at somebody and I'm going to their reviews, I always look at the negative reviews. I don't I don't care to read their 5 stars. Who
Right.
cares?
Right. Yeah.
I want to know, how did they deal with the problem person? Did they deal with the problem person? So, yeah, it's so the rebuttal on the review is basically giving the other side of the story, and but being compassionate. I understand you're frustrated. Cars are cars are bummers, but in the end, I didn't buy it. I didn't design it. I didn't break it. I'm
Right.
just trying to fix it. Yeah. I
So,
feel for people because, it's really ignorance on their part as to um, how complicated their machines are.
right. Yep. Today, and things are getting more and more and more technologically. advanced. So,
Yeah.
how about, okay, so since you've been an owner, what would you say is the biggest challenge that you've faced, and how have you overcome it?
My biggest challenge as an owner, I did not realize going in how much of my time I was going to be working for our government. Let's just be honest.
Right.
You spend at least a third of your time, if not up to half of your time, working for the government, filling out their paperwork and researching all their regulations and rules and all that garbage. Um, and that's frustrating to me
Mhm.
because I want to be thinking ahead. I want to be planning. I want to be, creating a better work environment for my people. But yeah, that's very frustrating
Okay.
having to
So,
spend so much time on the government.
so let's go to the opposite. What do you like most about owning an auto repair shop?
Well,
I already
that's
know what the answer is going to be. I got an idea, but go ahead.
yeah, no, the greatest part about being an owner, and having worked in the business for over 30 years, right? Prior to owning and having a technician as a husband
Hmm.
is coming in and the first thing, I mean, after I gave the business like 6 months just to shake out and see where we were financially, right?
Hmm.
And I'm trying to think, I'm just going to say it. It was exasperating how much money was going into the owner's pockets. I'm
Oh,
just being honest.
okay.
That I remember my husband had to threaten to quit over $1 an hour raise,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
And you think about that, $1 an hour, that's $160 a month,
Wow.
right? And they're like, oh well, I don't know if I can give you that. And then you see they're throwing $30,000 in their IRA every 3 months,
Wow.
right? And that pissed me off. So I gave pay raises and pay raises and pay raises until I got my guys up to where, I feel like they've got a decent living wage now,
Right.
right? And with Nuaka, I was introduced to a lot of great people. Um, I don't know if I can. Is it okay to give a word or
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, that would be my very next question. I would love to plug for NWACA and ATE Seattle. Brenda, Joanna, and the team work very,
right?
very hard to bring that together. And I wanted to mention your, membership on the board and volunteering and helping. So,
Yeah. So Nuaka for me was huge.
mhm.
Charlie was taught at ATE, which is the Automotive Technical Expo or something like that through
Yeah.
Nuaka. That's every year. So he taught long before we were ever members. And part of his teaching contract with Nuaka, with Brenda, was that I got to go to ATE for free because they were already having to pay a hotel room for him, right? Because he
Oh,
was
okay, yeah,
an
yeah, yeah, yeah,
instructor.
yeah. Right. Yeah.
And so I would go to Nuaka and I or go to ATE and take classes. That became frustrating and I quit after like 4 years because my bosses, I would come back with all these great ideas and my bosses would be like, oh yeah, that's nice, but they wouldn't change anything.
Hmm.
So um so when I became the owner, I plugged into Nuaka, which was great because all of the mentoring there, all that wealth of information and knowledge and experience, and all the vendors that are in there, like benefit solutions, insurance. So previous owner was paying exorbitant amount for medical insurance and I went to Eric Cantor with Benefit Solutions and Travis, and they gave me a quote that I'd save me like $10,000 a year
Wow.
medical insurance, and I got to add dental and vision. and still save that $10,000.
Wow.
That's just one little thing,
Hmm.
one little vendor. And that was just by networking with Nuaka.
Hmm.
And the wealth of information. The thing I love about Nuaka is that a lot of people there are they don't see other shops as their competitor.
Hmm.
So they genuinely care about you. They genuinely want your business to succeed and thrive. So that was unique
Hmm.
to me. But as a business owner, one thing I can't stress enough is you need a coach. I
Okay.
don't know who your coach is. You need a coach because you need fresh eyes coming in. You need to have that accountability of someone saying, well, have you done this? And if you're meeting with them every month, you want to make sure you get your homework done because you
Right.
don't want to say, oh, yeah, well, I've been too busy.
Right.
Because they're going to call you on your BS. They're going to say,
Right. Right.
no, you need to do this, So that's I think having a coach is huge, really, for every business. And I don't care who your coach is, as long as it's someone that you can take instruction from.
Hmm.
There are certain people, for whatever reason, I just don't like. I'm sorry. It's personality, it's the way they deliver. I don't know. But there are other people that I feel heart to heart with, and I feel like they really, really care about me. So finding a coach is huge.
It's one of the consistent messages on every podcast that I have. Every shop owner that has got a coach has told me that that was the most impactful thing that they ever did for their business.
Yeah.
So, any repair shop owner that's listening, if you don't have a coach, get one. Personally, I um, I recommend I recommend certain companies to
Yes.
and I recommend the Institute, Cecil Bullard. The
Mhm.
amount of information that he's put out there for free, and you can go to I think it's We Are the Institute. It's immense. They've been doing it for 25 years. So anyway, but so you're the same thing. How many years ago did you get a coach?
Um, 4 years ago.
Oh, 4 years. Okay.
So
Yeah.
so I it was, yeah, because again, that first year, um, here's the thing. When I bought the business because I knew I was coming up on retirement, right? And I
Right.
did not want the other shop owners in town to buy. I did not
Oh.
want to work for somebody who
Mm-hmm.
all they cared about was the Benjamins,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
I wanted to be able to, because I was a service advisor for over 20 years, right? And I didn't want to service advise for somebody who was pushing sales, because that's not my heart. My heart is to serve my customer and
Right.
do what's in the best interest of them. And so I bought so that I wouldn't be pressured to treat my customers as cash cows. Um, but listening to my previous owners, I thought they were pinching pennies. And yeah, I swear to God, she would take old stamps, stamps off of envelopes and glue them onto this because she misaddressed it. I mean, she pinched pennies so badly that it made you feel like you were in poverty, right?
Yeah.
So that first year, I was very careful about how I spent money. I spent a lot of money replacing old equipment,
Mm-hmm.
right? Defective
For
equipment.
additional automotive
They had
resources and
a
exclusive
storage room
content,
full of
follow us
old
on
AC
Spotify and
machines
subscribe to
and
our YouTube channel to
coolant
catch all our episodes.
recyclers
Thanks
and
again for
all
joining
that
us in
kind
the
of
driver's
crap.
seat, and
That's
we'll
just,
see you
it was
next time for
garbage.
another
Right.
thrilling episode of
But
Prop Show.
it was put on the spreadsheet for the sale. It was considered an asset, even
Right.
though it was a useless asset that I ended up boxing or throwing on a truck and taking to the dump.
Right.
Two two or three full truckloads of going to the
Wow.
garbage that we just didn't use. And the parts washer, the previous owner would spend probably 3 hours every 4 months cleaning and repairing it
Hmm.
rather than buying a new one.
So, speaking of training, Automotive Training Expo, the ATE Seattle is March 27th through the 29th. So
Right.
anybody that's out there listening in that Northwest area, if you haven't been, it's a smaller event than a lot of other ones, but that's the plus of it. It's a much smaller, intimate, owners get to meet owners, event. So, and the training is second to none. How, what role do you believe that training and ongoing education play in a shop's success in today's?
It's crucial because technology is changing so quickly.
Hmm.
And just like Greg Marchand talked about this last weekend, AI. Um, if you aren't using AI now, you're behind the curve already.
Hmm.
There's and it's knowing how to use it judiciously, right? It's not just, hey, this is a resource, use it and don't pay attention to it, but using it judiciously and wisely, So that's just, and that's in the office, that's service advising. But automotive technology just changes so quickly,
Hmm.
so quickly. Your guys have to stay on top. And you can't rest on last year's laurels.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can't. Um, there's a lot of guys that fought the whole fuel injection way back in the day. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember that
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
going from carburetors into fuel injection, and they're like, "Oh, that's a flash in the pan," blah, 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 blah. And they absolutely refused to learn. And what happened to them? They
Yep.
went under.
Yep. Because all cars, I liken the fuel injector to the hybrids. Because,
Yeah,
but the fuel injectors back then, it was the world's going to come to an end because we're going to run out of oil, and then they invented the fuel injector, and automatically that 10 times the oil reserves, and now we've got hybrid, so which done it again, so
yeah.
we can get a lot more out of oil. Oh, speaking of oil and all this stuff, and I know this is just conjecture, but I do like to ask the question. Any idea where you think the market's going to go? You think we're going to end up all driving EVs? You think the batteries are going to change? You think we can do hydrogen? You think hybrid is going to be the future? Any idea? Any guesswork on that?
Well, I think we're going to end up being more electric, but I don't think it's lithium ion. Um, just because I know, so Charlie's brother used to be, he's retired now, but he was a rocket scientist, right?
Okay.
What he did
A
was
real one. He was a rocket scientist, right?
absolutely, yeah.
Okay, a
And
real
he was
rocket scientist.
a battery expert. So
Mm.
one time Charlie went down there to visit him, and he had a simulation going on in his office on a computer in the corner. Um, but he would reprogram satellites in space to conserve their batteries to get
Oh,
more life out of that satellite that's up in space, right?
yeah.
So that technology trickles down into the commercial. And it was impressive what Albert was doing. So, yeah, I think that some of that is going to, if a person is saying to themselves, electric is a flash in the pan, no,
Right.
it is going to stick around, but is it, how did I say, is gasoline on the way out? No, gasoline is going to be around for a long time. The technology is going to improve. The oil reserves for the world are not as critical as you know, the naysayers would like to believe. I don't, but then again, I don't believe the coastline's going to be underwater in 5 years either. So, you know, from the melting of the ice caps and all that. Um, so there's balance in everything, but I think there will be more of a mixture. I would personally, I'm kind of excited by the hydrogen technology, but I it's not there yet for commercial use. It really isn't,
Right.
but it's an exciting technology to
It
to
is
think about.
because the hydrogen, you got what, water coming out
Yeah,
of the,
yeah, yeah. Your exhaust is water.
yeah,
It's phenomenal.
drinkable water.
Yes,
Yeah, the only problem with hydrogen is we just can't move it.
right.
Right, yeah. So we got to figure out how to properly store it and transfer it and move it. But it'd be great because it works with internal combustion and all the gas stations are everywhere. So it's just the tanks and everything. But we got to figure out how to move it, store it, and put it into a car without blowing mom up if the car's in an accident. It's highly flammable
Yeah,
or explosive,
yeah,
I think, I guess it is. Yeah, yeah. So
yeah. It
yeah,
infrastructure.
yep.
That's the feasibility is the infrastructure. So having the refueling sites and all that. But anyway, that's not for today, and it's not going to be in the next 5 years, I don't believe. But it's an
Right.
exciting technology.
Right. So,
Yeah.
one last question on finances. No shop is really going to make it, um, you know, 5 years, let alone 10 or 20, without a solid, financial system or structure in place. So, any advice on shop owners on how to handle finances? So, um,
I don't know if this is just personal advice, but I hate being in debt.
right,
That's pretty anti-American. A lot of Americans are very comfortable being in debt for their house, being in debt for their car, being in debt for their schooling. I mean, their own personal debt load is so huge. Um, so I think that that's one of the reasons why we succeeded. But so I paid off my business purchase in 3 years, which is huge.
wow,
But But personally, I was only making like $2 an hour, working 16 hours a day, right? Because I was taking all that money to pay off that loan because I didn't want to be in debt. I hate paying interest. So once that was paid off, it just freed up so much more money. Um, but yeah, so I would really hesitate to be in debt. If you can't pay for it in cash, how are you going to pay for it next month?
right,
Um, and and always look at a purchase on credit as what is the total cost, not what am I buying this? Am I buying this $30,000 piece of equipment? And by the time I get done paying it off, it's going to cost me 50 grand,
right,
right? So that changes things. Now this $30,000 piece of equipment is $50,000.
hmm,
Are you willing to spend $50,000 on this piece of equipment? Most people would say, hell no, I'm not going to spend that kind of money on that,
right.
right? But they will over time. So think about that when you're going to sign a contract with someone.
Hmm.
What is the grand total of, and is this piece of equipment really worth that?
Right. Yep. That's good advice. Yep. So a lot of shops, they do it different ways, but some of them have a certain percentage that they keep aside and they want to use that to buy equipment when they need it. So I just
Exactly.
had a shop owner that he's 30,000 for a new hunter machine, but he looked into his county, he had 43. He said, sure, so
Yeah.
He had it there, but he had been, putting that money away for years. And when the time came, it was already there. No stress,
Right.
So that works out really great. Well, Kavina, thanks. I really wanted to appreciate you for your time. I didn't, is there any question that I should have asked that maybe I didn't? Uh,
No, I just really want to stress that your greatest asset, I can't say this enough, as a wife of a technician, your greatest asset is your people. Treat them
right,
well. They are, and it's not just because there's quote unquote a technician shortage.
right,
Um, treat your technicians like they're your family, literally like they are your family.
right,
Don't treat them like they are oxen in a stall, right? They're not just grinding out work for you, but take time to get to know your service advisors and your technicians, your staff, and treat them like family. If Because if you genuinely care about them, they will go to the mat for you.
right,
People do not leave bad jobs, they leave bad bosses,
right, correct.
right? So if you've got somebody that you see the value in them, you they are ethical, they work hard, they're knowledgeable, they have very few comebacks. Give them grace when they make a mistake. Say, well, like I always tell people, well, if I never made a mistake, I'd really be pissed right now.
Mhm.
you know,
Right,
that's a service, that's a waitress to a cashier. If they made a mistake, hey, I've made a few in my life, right? So give that grace to your people and just love on them. They will know that you genuinely care about them, and they will go to the mat for you every time. And to that, I think that's a great segue into my personal story of this last year. I
mhm,
had kidney failure in March of 25, right?
right,
So starting December of 24, my work just, I was going gangbusters, and then I just fell off the face of the planet, right?
right.
I was in the hospital in January, I was in the hospital in February, and in March, I was literally fighting for my life.
Wow.
But here's the thing, my people love me. I was absent for 9 months, and that business still continued without me. And once I started feeling human again and started going in, my manager, bless her heart, broke down crying because of all the stress she had been under.
Hmm.
Because she didn't want to disappoint me. She knew I was counting on her, but she was out there on her own, right?
Hmm.
And and we had made arrangements in June of 24, I think it was, that one of the technicians was going to buy my husband's shares of the business
Hmm.
April 1st. April 1st.
Right.
And I'm in the hospital in March. So this poor kid is now a new owner, and he's on his own. He got dumped into the deep end. And and I would just periodically call when I was coherent and say, just trust Barbara, trust Barbara, she's the boss, let her do her job. You continue to be a technician and just do the best you can, right?
Hmm.
And but because those people knew that I genuinely cared for them when I needed them the most, they were there for me. They really were. Um, so bless them for that. But I think that that's a word to the wise as an owner, that if you genuinely care about your people, they genuinely care about you,
Right.
and they're going to go the extra mile for you.
So you took care of them, and then in your time of need, they took care of you.
Absolutely,
That's
above and beyond. I mean, here's the truth of the matter is Bob's Little Car Hospital in 25 did not excel, prosper, but we tread water. It was a tough year,
Hmm.
Without that vision, without that leadership, yeah, we didn't excel, but we didn't go in the hole,
Right.
right?
Right.
I didn't have to take any money out of savings to float the business. I didn't have to do any of that. The business took care of itself. There were a couple of tight months there, but yeah, and it's because these two young kids were just thrown in the deep end. And my husband, bless his heart, he's a technician. He had a full-time job bringing me back to life,
Right.
taking care of me. So yeah, it was I think that that's a word to the wise. Take care of your people. Treat them like you wish your boss had treated you.
Hmm.
A lot of shop owners are technicians, right?
Right.
That just said, to heck with this, I'm going to start my own shop. So when you get people, treat them like you wanted to be treated by your bosses.
That's
Appreciate
awesome.
that. Yeah.
Awesome advice. Well, Kavina, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. So, and I look forward to seeing you next month, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Next month at ATE.
TE.
Awesome.
Okay. All right.
For additional automotive resources and exclusive content, follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our episodes. Thanks again for joining us in the driver's seat, and we'll see you next time for another thrilling episode of Top Shop.